Hello. Welcome to the live stream. I'm super excited to have you all here today because we're going to be covering something that is so special and so important to us. It's a project that we have been working on for the last 2, 3 months and many more months you can say actually because the brainstorming and the wireframing has been ongoing for a long time. But for the first time, we're actually going to be revealing how you can gamify your Notion databases without needing a template. And all you need is to connect with the Notion API to gamify any win that you like on the Notion platform, which means that any database you have, you can turn that into a gamified experience whenever you want. So I'm super excited about this because for the first time, we're making our system very widely accessible by anybody on the Notion platform, not just people who use our templates. We're making it very easy for anybody. And the best of all, right now, it's all free. So let's get straight into it and let's show you how it works. And I'm happy to welcome everybody in the live stream right now. Hi, Ben. Hi, Jackie. Good to see you. And hopefully we see more people rolling in as time goes on as well. So let's switch over to our Notion. So before we start any build, as always, I like to go through the why, what, and how, just to explain a bit to give you the context of what we're going to be sharing today and be really intentional about the things we're going to be covering. So the first thing is, as I mentioned, we want to give everybody who uses Notion a simple way to gamify their wins, no matter what they're tracking in Notion or what template they're using for free. Very simple, very noble, and something that everybody in the community really wants to do. So what do we want out of gamification? Well, let's just talk a bit about gamification and what we want to accomplish out of that. It's very simple. The first thing we want to do is celebrate every single win. We want to be able to feel good about every single thing that we do, especially everything that we're tracking in Notion, right? Whether it be a new book we're reading, a new to-do list item we checked off, even conversations that we've been having with loved ones. If there's a way to celebrate every single win, we want to have it. We also want to be able to visualize our life progression in terms of experience points and gold, right? It doesn't really make sense that so many of us end up looking down or maybe not really valuing all the efforts that we put into our day-to-day life progression because we just don't see it, right? Again, things change bit by bit. We tend to overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year. And in the same way, we see that when we start doing small things, that improve our life, but we just don't know that it's improving it. So having a way to quantify the improvement in life through experience points and gold is really cool. By the way, hi Lisa, good to see you as well. Welcome. The third thing is really breaking down where in our life we are improving, right? Knowing exactly which areas of our life we're improving over time, which areas that we're intentionally really building on to make our life better. We call that our areas of competence. You might call that your life stats, whatever you might call that. Basically seeing how and where in your life you're improving at any given point. And then lastly, friendly competition with friends, family, and community. This is something that we always emphasize because I think there's enough in life to struggle with. You don't have to struggle alone. There's other people who have done this before. There's loved ones who care about you that want to be on that journey. There's a community of people who want to support you. So why do it alone? Why go at it alone? So where does Notion fall short, right, natively? And how can we overcome this? Well, if you've ever used Notion, I'm sure you know that there's no real fanfare, there's no real, oh my gosh, you did it when you drag something from the to do to the done column of your databases. I mean, just to show you, right? This is one of the databases that come with the Notion accounts that you create. You have a to do, doing, and done. I drag this item from doing to done. That's it. I don't feel much better. I feel maybe that's, one of my columns is less, one of my column is more, and I have done something. Wow. Like the feeling of accomplishment comes really like comes really like forced, maybe is the way I would use to word it. But I want it to be more of a celebratory process where if I hand in something really like, fireworks, I get a pop-up, I get a notification, something makes me feel good, right? And that's what I would like. And of course, this is unique to me, maybe not for you, but you can kind of feel that there could be more to celebrate that win. Being able to visualize our life progression, definitely Notion doesn't do that. And again, for good reason, Notion cannot support that. They don't know what should be counted towards experience points and goals. They wouldn't put a gamification system. That's why we ended up building that template around a year back, a year and a half now. Wow. But and many users in our community, but really being able to visualize life progression is something that Notion doesn't do. All it does is help you create that database to track the things you want to track. Again, similarly, breaking down where in life you're improving, there's no way that it will know. It will understand where to put certain categories of your life, where certain wins are going to contribute to certain areas. All these things are things that Notion won't be able to do. Again, natively, we're changing that. And the last thing is friendly competition. Unless you decide to share your whole Notion database with someone, it's really tough for someone to see exactly how you're competing and how you're finishing certain things. Especially there's no like shared measurement system, right? Like you might have a different way of quantifying your wins in terms of, reading a book or doing a to-do list. And someone else might have things that they're quantifying. And how do you compare both things on the same spectrum? You need a shared measurement system to do that. And again, it's not something that's very intuitive to do in Notion, if at all, actually. So the question I've been getting a lot, because I've been obviously sharing about this idea, we've been testing in the community, and what's the difference between using the API to gamify your life versus using the templates or doing it all in Notion? And this is the last question I'll answer, and then we'll go straight into examples, and I guarantee you the examples are very, very exciting. But I just wanted to say, like, the API is, for us at least, is meant to be an additional layer on top of what you're doing in Notion already. So in Notion, you might already love using our system, which is great, please do. And you are able to have a lot of customization and a lot of power over what gets gamified in your system. And I think that's great. Keep that. That's exactly, if that works for you, use that. What the API will do for you is essentially make sure that all the other databases that haven't been connected into the gamification engine yet inside your Notion templates, and you don't really want to go through the trouble of setting up all the formulas, the rollups, everything that's needed to make sure that that's all gamified. For example, you might have the finance tracking databases, you might have the content creation databases, you might have My Network, right, where you keep in touch with your loved ones. Those ones aren't natively connected to the gamification because it just is extra work to do, right? There's formulas and rollups and all that. And if you don't want to do that in Notion, then using the API will be very nice for you because you'll be able to just connect and get that gamified. And of course, you'll be also able to play with other people, right? With our community, eventually friends and family. We're going to set up party quests and all that. That's really exciting. That's coming soon. But really having that opportunity to be able to have multiplayer for personal development, that's what you benefit from. And if you want to use your own templates, right? Or and I'll go through these examples as well. Whereas if you use templates from other creators or you built your own, how can you gamify the experience easily, painlessly, without having to know the nitty-gritty of exactly how the entire gamification engine works in Notion? This is for you. This is the live stream you want to watch because we're going to show you how to do that really, really easily. Hi, Alyssa. Good to see you as well. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Awesome. So with that all in mind, we now know the why and what. Let's really focus in on the how. So let's go through examples of templates you get when you start a new Notion account. But before that, let me show you what the final result will look like because it's going to be very exciting. So as an example, this is one of my dashboards now. This is my Make Life Simple. And basically all you have to know is I have this really, really cool block right here that shows me my life progression, my avatar, of course, what level I'm currently, you see I'm about to level. So I'm actually going to show you how level up looks like. By wins this week, what I've been succeeding in this week, what my trajectory has been, of course, and also seeing where my life stats are. So let me show you just really quickly. I'm going down, right? And you'll see it's so simple. Let's say I finished setting up accounts for this demo, which I have, and it took me 1 Pomodoro. Amazing. Let's send this in. I'm going to drag this to today's win. Okay, I'm going to drag it like that. The API usually takes around 30 seconds to 1 minute to pull up. It does a run every single minute to check for new wins. And when it does, boom, I leveled up, right? You can see that it looks like this in this view if it's inside my embed window. Let me also show you how it will look like inside here. Whoops, let's do this here. How it will look like inside your player page, right? So what happens is on your player page, right, inside the Make Work Fun app, you'll also be able to see that pop up. Let me just do that one more time to show you how it looks, because I think it'll be very cool to just show you how it looks on here as well. So I'm going to refresh it. But basically when it pops up, you see fanfare, you see, like, you feel good about that. That's the whole idea. I want to be able to celebrate my wins. I want to be able to feel like I, accomplished something of great value, right? And I want to feel good about that. And really, that's what we're accomplishing with this app. We're able to really see our wins pop up in front of us and make us feel really, really good. And I'm going to show you a bit more about what you can see there, again, without spoiling too much, because I want to show you how this would work everywhere. So I'm going to say show a notification. So I'll level up, right? I see fanfare, I see fireworks. I feel very happy about that. I see a little bit of motivational quotes, right, to get my day going. But the really cool thing here is I can open up this gift and I get a random GIF that makes me, smile, makes me laugh, hopefully not cry, but there's a lot of fun GIFs here that will make you just feel like you're celebrating your win. So again, these are things that a lot of us are currently benefiting from in the community. Hopefully you will too after this live stream. I'll show you exactly how it works, how easy it can be. Again, we have like 46 people this season, so really exciting. Let's get straight into it, okay? So if you're following along, again, everybody can. I also actually urge you to, because it'll be easy for you to add new databases if you follow along with these instructions. But what I've done is basically I've just started a new Notion account, right? You don't have to, but I've started a new Notion account, and I'm just testing with the example templates that they give you, right? The basic task list, the basic reading list, and I will show you how you can gamify that just really, really easily. Okay. Number one thing, make an account on makework.fun. If you want that URL again, it's makework.fun. Okay, I'll type in the chat if you need it. It is makework.fun. This is the website you want to go to make your account. I'm going to sign out of my demo account and I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to use just my test account, right? My test email. You can use obviously whatever email you'd like, but I'm just going to use my test account and get in that way. Again, simple, just put your email in, you get a magic link, or you can make a username and password. It's completely up to you. It works either way. I'm going to go ahead and log in. So let's do that. I'm logged in right now. And you can see that this account has nothing in here, right? You haven't unlocked any resources yet. Let's get started. Of course, you can use our template, but as you know, in this live stream, we're going to show you I can do it with any database. So the first thing is to connect to Notion, right? And we want to learn how to connect to Notion. What we can do is we can go through these instructions here, but of course, since I'm here, I'll just show you exactly how it works, but you can go through the instructions and get the API integration key, give the integration access to your success plan or any database you want. Let's go through those steps right now. So the first thing is we want our integration key, which we can get by going to settings and members, going to integration here, and then creating a new integration. So let's go ahead and develop your new integration. My integrations is right here. And then I'm going to make a new integration here. Let's call this one test integration for cox3 family connection. Or actually, just call it cox3 family connection. I think it's the best thing to do. Let's go here, and I'm going to change this over to, let's say, example workspace, because that's where I'm working on right now. And then I'm going to press submit, and then we're done. So what we want to do is we want to get this integration token. Again, normally, don't let anyone see this. Again, for me, I'm just showing off in this live stream, so I don't mind if it's public, but this you want to keep secret between you and the app, because if anybody has access to this, they can read and write to your database. So I'm warning you in advance, don't let anyone see this unless you're directly putting it into the app. I'm going to copy this, okay? And then I'm going to go back to the app and I'm going to paste this in. Of course, I'm also going to add a database name for this. I'm going to do the task list example. or task list, I'll just call it that. And then what I want next is the database ID. So the first thing is in this task list, I want to share access to this integration, which is right here. I want to share access to this so the API can edit. And again, only the databases that you share with the connection with this integration, you will be able to edit. So the API key is like not so insecure. You have to directly share it with this, share it in this way before the app or the API will be able to get anything from your databases. So that's also something to know. That's amazing. And then the next thing you want to do is be able to copy the link of this database. You can do this in two ways. You can click copy link here, very easy, or you can click on the URL and copy the link from there. That's also very nice, but let's just copy the URL and let's get started. So I'm going to go now into here. I'm going to paste the database ID into here. It's going to be a very long string, but the moment we click save and test, it's going to make it into this database ID, which is great. And I'm going to test the connection. Oh, the credentials are invalid. What's going on? So right here, we're going to check exactly why our credentials are invalid. Let's see what's happening. Oh, I just need to refresh it. So that's actually perfectly fine. So we pulled in the information. We found the task list, right? So that's, it's confirmed. We found the task list. This is the name of the database as it's named in Notion. And it says right now we have the name and status property, okay? Which means that we have a status property that has, you know, to do, doing, done, whatever. And then we have the name of the task. Perfect. But what else do we want to do here? What else are we missing here? Well, it seems like for status, we need to have an option for complete. So let's do that quickly. Let's just make this done into complete, just so that we have the name that's matching what the API is expecting. And then also, what else do we need to do? Let's see. We want to get two more required properties. One is share with family and one is family connection. Okay, that seems pretty easy. So share a family is just a checkbox. Let's just do that. So I'm going to open up this item. I'm going to add a property. I'm going to call this share with family, question mark. We're going to make this a checkbox, very simple. And then the next thing we want to do, right? And if we want to test it, by the way, we can just refresh this and we can see if it works. Perfect, it works. It's found our property, amazing. Next thing is, and the last and final step, by the way, and again, it's so easy, right? We just need one more thing, is the family connection. We need a text property called family connection. So let's do that. Family connection. Boom. And then now we want to refresh this and it looks like it's done. That's it. I've met the requirements. I just need to hand in my quest now. So you can see it's actually very, very simple, right? We're moving very, very quickly. It's just like that. And again, I'll do this again for the next few databases. So if you got lost at any point during this process, don't worry, we will pick up again. But here we have our task list, right? This is complete right now. So what can we do? We're going to check share with family, and then we're going to see exactly what happens. How does the app pick up our task? What is missing right now in the metadata, and what else can we add to it to make it really pop for us? So we're going to see that real quick. Again, give it 30 seconds to 1 minute. We're going to let it load. But I hope you guys appreciate exactly how simple it can be to just pull wins from your any task list that you want, right? This is just a random to-do list template that comes with Notion. I mean, this is not something crazy. This is a simple database with like four properties, and now we can already pull wins. How crazy is that? So I really want to give you guys the feeling and I guess the appreciation that, you know, gamifying any database can be super, super fun, super, super easy from now on. And, you know, the sky's the limit for this, for real. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a few more seconds. Usually, oh, perfect, it's done. Share to family. Wow. So it looks like it popped up. It says you've completed an uncategorized. Why is it uncategorized? What's happening? Well, let's hand in this first. Let's take a look. What do we celebrate? We get a nice GIF. It's a nice Shiba Inu looking at a computer. Awesome. Kind of making me laugh right now too. But again, you're trying to celebrate, right? So one cool thing here is that it also shows you what database it comes from. So this is coming from the task list. Awesome. And if I want to see my character stats, let's see what happens. Let's go over to player. Let's see if it's calculated my player already. Looks like it has. So everything hasn't been set up yet. I have a placeholder image. I have whatever background. Again, these are all things I'll change, and I'll change later, perhaps, right? But I just want to show you, you have your win already set up. Amazing. So let's now just do one more thing, right? Because we want to show you how you can, make it not uncategorized, maybe add a few more details in here and there. But you can already see we're earning 25 experience points. We're, 10% on the way over to level 2, right? And I'm so glad, by the way, Jackie, thanks for the endorsement. Lise, hope I'm saying your name right, by the way. But Lise, I'm glad you're getting it too. It's, again, super easy, and hopefully you guys see it too. Okay, but let's show you exactly how to modify these things, right? So again, I'm going back to the testing because I want to test my connection. And let's see, I'm going to refresh my page. So right now, I'm already seeing that what I can do is add a type property, right? And the type property will actually help me identify exactly what kind of win this is. So for example, if I want this to be a task win, I'm just going to make a type property and I'm going to make it a select. It doesn't matter, actually, you can make it a text, select, multi-select is up to you. But I'm going to call this type a task, okay? So I'm going to call it a task. And if I remove this shared with family, I'm telling the API to, hey, please pull this win again. I've updated something about this win and I want this to be sent again. So what happens is this will again send the win into the system. And if you want to make it easy for you, by the way, you can just make it really easy. You can have the properties show the share of family so that whenever you have a new win and you drag it into here, it automatically helps you share it with family. And I think that's very, very, very cool. Again, you can add like filters as well, by the way, if you want to. So I can have type is always task. So if I make a new one, let's say I want to say, called mom, for example, right? Maybe that's something I want to celebrate, and I click share a family and I drag it to complete. So let's just see when it pulls up, okay? I'm going to go back into the app. Let's see when something pulls up for us. Again, this will take a little bit of time because we're just initializing the account, but usually you just hand it in, you wait for the win to come in, and if you have the mobile app or you have the website open, it will just pop up. So let's see, share to family. So let's see what happens. Take Fig on a walk. Again, we have a new GIF now, and then we can go back to our character stats and see what's going on there, which is awesome. And called mom also showed up. Awesome. And then that's another GIF for us as well. So I think that's really awesome, right? That's really cool. So we have 2 wins handed in now, and that's from our task list. So let's switch over. Let's go to another database, right? Let's say our reading list. When you get to the reading list, right? Again, this is an example I'm just running from the Notion templates. Make sure you are catching the database. So the database is the media database, not the reading list. So I have to open up this media page, right? I need to share the integration now with it. So the family connection goes into here. I'm going to share it. And then now when I grab the URL, okay, I'm going to grab the link, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to my accounts. And then I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to paste this. And I'm going to now call this one the reading list, right? Super simple. I'm going to save and test. Let's see what happens. I'm going to refresh this just to make sure it's pulling the new data. And perfect. It's showing my reading list. So I'm going to see that right now it has everything I want because I've already added in all the additional properties. Again, it's super simple. It already came with type, right? I just needed to add share with family and family connection. So now that when I'm in here, I already had this, let's see, I had this one. It's complete. I share with family. So now let's see it go in real time. So again, give it 30 seconds to 1 minute. It's going to pull out the information. And it's going to now populate the database, right? It's going to populate the win for even reading a article, just like this, a New York Times article. So I just want to show you that like it's so powerful, right? That you can just capture any win that you like from any database. We're going to run through a few more examples right after this, but hopefully this can show you just the power of being able to gamify any database. So it's shared with family, so it's done. So perfect, it's coming from the reading list. I can open this, I get to celebrate. And I can view my character stats just like before, and I can see that I have a new one right here. Again, a lot of the information isn't captured right now, it seems like, because there's no due date, there's no completed date, there's all that. I will show you how that all looks once we start adding those details. That's why I show you, you complete an article, right? So these are all wins that you can hand in. So let's breeze through the next few examples. I'm going to go to a journal entry. Again, this is a journal database. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to go to the Coast Free Family Connection. I'm going to go to accounts. Again, you can add additional databases, right? So it just means I'm going to add a new one right here, or I can just keep modifying the one if I switch databases. Again, I would 100% recommend you just add new databases. But again, for my example here, I'm just going to change this. So I'm going to go ahead and add that URL there. I'm going to call this a journal entry. So I'm going to save and test this. Let's see what happens. I test the connection and I'm going to refresh again just to make sure that it looks good. Oh no, it doesn't connect. Why? Well, very simple. It's because I haven't shared the integration with it, right? So again, I'm showing you all these error cases so you know what to do when you hit these situations. I'm going to click on Close Family Connection. So now it's synchronized. I'm going to try again. So let's go ahead and try again here. Test connection. Oops. I should be able to try again just like so. Perfect. So I have this journal. So this journal, we can see that a lot of things aren't shown. We have this status isn't shown, share of family isn't shown, family connection. But again, I want to show you it's super simple. You just need to add 3 properties and you're done. And let's do this very quickly, shall we? So let's open up this reflection thing that they have already for us, right? I'm going to add a status. It's going to be a select property. I'm going to add share with family. It's going to be a checkbox property. And then I'm going to add family connection. It's a text property. Now, you might be asking, Connor, what happens if I put in the property, but it's actually not the right type, right? What happens then? So let's do that. I'm going to change status to a number property, which is not correct, obviously. And then let's see what complaints the API will have. I'm going to refresh the page here, and it says, oh no, I have the property, but not the recommended type. And it should be a select or multi-select. So it seems like the system is smart enough to tell me that, which is awesome. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go to journal entry, and I'm going to change this back to a select property. We're going to call this complete. And let's say today's reflection was August 21st, 2021, reflection. Again, it could be anything, right? I click share with family, and then again, I just wait, and then the API will pick it up. This time it picked up really quickly, which is awesome. Again, I told you, it gets faster and faster. So we can see that it came from our journal. We can celebrate this. We got wins again, and it's super, super awesome. Again, I can see my character stats. I can just go here. And now it shows up. Again, this is uncategorized. Why? Because we didn't put in a type. So all we have to do is just put a type in. So let's add a type property here. And then the type can be a select. Let's call this a reflection, right? Which means that we don't even need to put that in the title anymore. So we just call it that. We remove the text in the family connection if we want to refresh this. So it's super awesome. We can wait for a little bit, shouldn't be too long now, and then we'll see it pop up in the family connection. Jahara, I just want to make sure I got your name right. She just popped in. Thank you for popping in. Thank you so much for your kind words. I appreciate that. Awesome. So that's shared a family, and then we can see that we have a new reflection. So it's perfect. You completed a reflection. It's time to celebrate, and everything's really cool. Simple as that. Awesome. Let's go through 1 or 2 more examples, this time from our templates, from the CoX3 family templates in the toolbox. We have a writer's template, right? We have a content creation flow. And traditionally, this has never been gamified, but I want to show you how this can be gamified very easily. Again, don't do the same mistake I did. Find the database, right? Just make sure on the original database, make sure you've shared the integration, make sure that you've copied the right link here. So I go into here, I paste the link again just to make sure, save and test. Let's just see if this works. And booyah, so we're in. Again, these minor things will be ironed out. We're in beta. Again, we're just working as fast as we can as a community, but hopefully I want to show you that this is working very well. So we have the name, or at least the core components. We have the name, we have the status. We don't have share of family, we don't have family connection. So for this, we just need to add 2 properties. Again, very, very simple. Let's go ahead and use one of these articles as an example. So again, we need to have a new one called complete. So let's call a new one called complete. So let's do complete instead of distributed, just as an example. So this perhaps is complete, and I want to also add a property for share with family, which is a checkbox. Okay, again, just the exact same things. You're going to get it really easily. You just need to add these simple properties. We're going to add family connection as a text property. And then now if I click share with family, let's see what happens. This should help us throw it in, and let's just wait for it. So again, if I refresh this just to show you, if I refresh this, it'll show that it all works. So that's pretty awesome. And I can go to the player tab, obviously, to see the win come in. For now, I'm just going to wait here just to have it pop up for us. So again, this is something that's, you know, it looks like even we have punctuality here. But again, we'll grab it later. I want to show you how that one works later. Because we have a lot of metadata that we can pull in. And hopefully, I just want to give you more and more reasons to see that from now on, all you have to do is just add 2 properties, right? If not 3, to show the status and the type. And you'll be able to gamify it. You'll be able to earn wins for it, see how it kind of tracks for you in your day-to-day life, and then just see how it all connects in the bigger picture, which I think is really fun. And you're able to just really compete with everyone else as well in the family. So you have a nice win here. You can see your character stats. Again, that's. Okay. I'm going to run through one more example from our templates. And again, and the next thing is I'm going to show you how it works with another creator's templates. So thankfully, August Bradley has been very helpful for this. I talked to him, and we've been sharing notes on this, and I've been using, I wanted to try to use his template to show you how you can gamify that as well. So stay tuned for that. But for the last one I wanted to show is if you had your network and you're just keeping track of the people you care about in your lives, and you wanted to basically keep track of exactly how, what meaningful conversations you've had with them recently, right? So let's say I had a conversation about life goals with Jane Doe. I can actually gamify this as well. So let's open this database, right? So which means I'm opening the main database here. I'm going to share this integration, share this page rather with the integration. I'm going to share it like so. And then I'm going to grab the link from here, copy the link just like that. And then if I go over to my family connection, and then again, I go to account, do that whole thing again. And this time I change it to conversations. Again, you really want to connect additional databases. If you're doing this, I'm just showing you here just for convenience sake. I'm going to save, test connection, refresh this. Let's see what happens. So notable and memorable conversations, it seems like everything's missing. So I want to go to here. I'm going to change the title to name. I'm going to add a property called share with family. It's going to be a checkbox. And then I'm going to add one more called family connection, which is a text property. And then one more status for a dropdown, which is going to be complete or not. And here I'm just going to add complete to this, right? And then I'm going to put it here, check off share of family. And then now this life goals conversation that I had can now be passed in. Maybe I also want to add a type, right? For the, let's call it conversations. Or actually it shouldn't be with an S, it should be just conversation. And then let's see how this one works. Let's see it pull in. Again, this should be relatively quick. In the meantime, I'm going to check in. Joshua says you might want to add another property that specifies where the item is an objective or something you have consumed. Instead of you complete an article, it could be you read an article. I think that's great. I think even giving people the opportunity to specify exactly what they want to say, like giving them their own string, their own control. It's like instead of saying like you've completed A, you've read A, or whatever you'd like. So you can customize that definitely, and I can add that. Yeah, that could be very cool. Thanks for that suggestion, Joshua. Really awesome. Okay, so that's shared with family. Again, life goals conversation is done. Awesome. So again, these are all really good examples. For the last example I want to show you, by the way, so again, you get a nice GIF. For the last example, let's say I was using August Bradley's template, right? His action zones and his action items database, right? So I want to open up the actual database. Again, you have to be very certain you're opening that. And then I'm going to share this again with the integration. Very simple. I'm going to edit this, add this to the integration. And then what I'm going to do is copy the link. I'm going to go to the codex-free family connection. I am going to paste that link, and then this is going to be called action items, the database name. I'm going to save and test this. So I'm going to test this connection. Again, I'm going to refresh just to make sure everything is refreshed. I'm going to have to change a few properties. So the name has to change for me. So the name is going to change. Instead of action item, I'm going to call it the name. I also need to have share with family. So I'm going to add share with family, which is a checkbox just like so. And then I'm going to also add family connection, which is going to be a text. And then look at that. I'm done. Let me just show you how that one works, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and also add a complete to this just because we need one. So task example, I'm going to mark that as complete. I'm going to mark share with family. And of course, you can do everything else that you need to do here, like done, whatever else you need. And then what you can do is you can already see it pull in. So I'm going to just refresh to make sure everything works. I'm going to refresh. Oh, it already came in actually. I didn't need a refresh. But anyway, I'm going to go to the player page and I'm going to show you that it pulled in a task example. And again, I'm already starting to earn wins and earn experience points. And you can see, actually, I'm almost there. One more win and I'm going to hit 100%. I'm going to level up. So I'm going to show you how that one looks. It's going to be pretty cool. Imagine you can level up for things that you finish even in this, right? So what I want to show you before we level up is the fact that we can actually also add additional parameters. So I'm going to refresh this just to make sure it works. And I'm going to show you that actually you can even show the difficulty number and type so that we can see additional data. So for example, if it was a harder task, again, the way that I like to use difficulty number is to show the amount of effort needed, and therefore the multiplier, I should get all my experience points. So let's say I'm going to add a few things to the action item database, right? I'm going to add, let's say, a type. So this is going to be a task for me. Again, you can set up all kinds of filters later on, so you don't have to do this manually. But let's say this is a type. It's going to be a task for me. I'm going to also add something for difficulty number, difficulty. And then this is going to be, you can do a number property, you can do a select. I just like doing select. Let's say this was a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. And then I might also want to add another property for area because I want to show what area belongs to. Maybe this belongs to the area of, let's call it mindset. Maybe this builds up my mindset. So what I want to do now is I'm going to change this. I'm going to just refresh this to show you, right? And now because it actually is going to give me 2 instances or a difficulty level of 2, it's going to give me actually 50 XP instead of just 5, just 25 rather. So let's show you how that one looks like. So we leveled up, awesome, level 2. So we have the fanfare as we like it. We can open this up. We get a celebration. This is Voldemort apparently. So that's another celebration. Again, we can see our character stats. We can see how it looks so far. So we can see a level 2. You can see we had a lot of wins today on Saturday. Again, you can see how it all works. And the interesting thing is because we actually had a due date, right? We shared in the due dates with the application. Our due date was on January 22nd. We can actually see that our trend is down. We're late for this task, which means we didn't earn any gold. So you have to be careful about that. If you click on your avatar, and this is a secret, we haven't published this like widely yet, but if you click on it, you can see basically your overall life progression. I think it's really cool. So we have health level 2, we have mindset level 1, and uncategorized means all the things that we had in that didn't have a categorization. Those are things that don't have a categorization yet, and we can see where they categorize later on. Now, for the final thing I want to show you guys is to show you if I just had a dashboard, right? Again, I'm just going to use the action zone as an example. You can use any dashboard you like, but as an example, let's say you liked the PPV system. Again, I think many people do, which is awesome. What we can do is we can actually grab a embed view. So we click on this gear icon, copy the embed link. And what happens is I can just grab the embed view, let's say with this, I click copy, and I can paste it into any page I'd like. So I can paste it and I can create the embed. And now what we can have here is a nice embed view of our own accounts. Again, you can have the look and feel however you like, but I have it like so. And then now you can have your own accounts show up. You can see your wins in real time. And later on, we'll have party views. You can see your friends as well. So it becomes really, really cool for you to be able to see all your wins in real time. where you're leveling up, right? And just really have a really nice experience for yourself. And yeah, hopefully something that you can take home and enjoy. Um, I think that's about it, guys. That's what I really wanted to show. All the advanced features are here. We've embedded it. We've tested with other creators' templates. Hopefully, this was helpful for you. Hopefully, it gives you the confidence to get started. I think I've covered all of the use cases, at least for now, that we can do in terms of handing in wins. And of course, if you like to do daily habits, daily tasks, we also have our own dailies component in the app. So you can just add in your own active habits. Let me actually show you an example. So I can just add in my own habits, for example, uh, exercise, okay? And then I can make this into a checkbox. Let's just keep it simple. Let's do exercise or running, maybe running. So what we can do here is we can go back now. We can show we have a exercise routine just like that. You can head it in. And again, it all works very well on mobile as well. Anyways, guys, that's it for the live stream. Hopefully you found this helpful. Thank you again for watching. Please have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We have a lot of events coming up, so definitely join us in the community if you haven't already for the events. And otherwise, thank you so much. Please take care. Bye, everybody.